The new HEROES Act is here, and we have all the details, including a second round of $1,200 stimulus checks, a boost to SNAP benefits, as well as rental assistance for low-income individuals. Just a few of the aspects I'm going to be discussing in this video that are included in this new package. But quickly, I need to clarify, yes, this video pertains to everybody, including Social Security recipients, retirement, disability and survivors, SSI, supplemental security income, VA, RRB, low income, no income, you name it, you're all included. So I hope that helps you out. Let's get right into this. I'm excited about it. This proposal was just released late last night, and I produced a video last night, but I'm going to get into it in more detail today and run through this a little bit further. So let's jump into it. Today is Tuesday, September 29th. Welcome back, everybody. If you're new here, please be sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for your support and allowing me to be your daily advocate. All right, let's jump into this and talk about it. It's good stuff. I'm going to burn through just some of the headlines here, but then I'm going to get into what is important and what everybody truly cares about here. And so let's get right into this and talk about it. So the price tag on this new HEROES Act proposal is $2.2 trillion, which is $1.2 trillion lower than the original proposal we saw back in May with a price tag of $3.4 trillion. All right, here's what's included. Again, I'm just going to burn through some of these headlines that nobody really cares about, and then we'll get into much more detail about the aspects that everybody does care about. Hashtag stimulus checks, SNAP, rental assistance, all that good stuff. So let's talk about this. $225 billion for schools. Of course, that's all broken down between all these different aspects of who's getting what, higher education, lower education, elementary, all that stuff. But I mean, I'm not going to break that down. All right, $75 billion for testing and contact tracing. We have another $436 billion for state and local government. Some of that goes to like those frontline workers, like firefighters, EMTs, police officers, those people, the frontline workers. Again, it's all broken down in all these categories where all this money is going, but these are just some like the headliners. We have $21 billion going to homeowners who are struggling to pay their expenses associated with owning a home, like mortgage, property taxes, utilities, and other. They have the word other in there. We don't know what other means. Like, does that mean like, hey, my carpet's all worn out and I need to replace it? Or hey, my air conditioner isn't working and I need to replace it and I can't afford it right now? I mean, is that what we're talking about in other? The word other is in there. That's very interesting to see. So, yeah, we'll continue watching that for you. Also, the enhanced unemployment benefits at a rate of $600 per week through the end of January. So that's in there as well. Again, I just want to say, there's so much more in this package that I'm not even going to talk about in this video. There's so many different things in this package, but realistically, it doesn't really apply to the majority of people. It doesn't apply to definitely most people here, so I'm not even going to talk about it, but I just want to say there's so much more in this package. I'm just going to lay out, mostly what applies to many of the people here. All right, here is where it gets good. Here's what everybody really cares about, so please listen up to all this now. This is where it's going to apply to the majority of you here on the channel. This is a big number. $50 billion in rental assistance for low-income individuals and families who are potentially facing or to avoid homelessness. So let me say that one more time. I kind of tripped up on that on that sentence. $50 billion for individuals and families for rental assistance to avoid homelessness. So this is really good. I know a lot of you here probably fall into that category of low income. So that's good. I mean, if you're living strictly off of like Social Security, retirement, disability, or survivors, or you have any of those benefits like SSI, VA, RRB, stuff like that, this is going to apply to you. This is for you. $50 billion for rental assistance. So that's good stuff right there. I mean, that's good. That's a big, big number, and hopefully that'll help out. Of course, there are additional provisions within here for evictions, things like that. I can break that down in a further video, but I really just want to kind of go through the headlines here and go in a little bit deeper, but I can break this down further in another video, like I just said. But let's get into the next one. $10 billion for SNAP benefits. So, many of you here, again, qualify for those SNAP benefits. If you have not applied yet, please do it. It costs you nothing. It's free to apply, and you could potentially getting a bunch of money each month to help you pay for groceries and food bills, stuff like that. So please, if you have not applied for SNAP, do it, especially now. If there's another $10 billion allocated for SNAP, we can anticipate they're probably going to implement those emergency SNAP benefits once again, like we were seeing, what was it, March through August or so? Those emergency SNAP benefits were in place. Everybody was bumped up. The minimum through that period that I just outlined there was what? I think $194 was the new minimum. A lot of you were saying you got $16. Well, guess what? You were probably getting the minimum that during that emergency boost of $194. So we can probably anticipate with this $10 billion, they're probably going to implement that emergency boost once again for a little while. Here's another really cool thing I want to mention. 15% increase to SNAP benefits. So a 15% increase to SNAP benefits. That's pretty cool. So here's what I really hope they do. I mean, I don't know how they're going to do this, but here's what we can hope. Let's hope they implement the 15% boost, the 15% increase. Sorry, sometimes I get excited and I try to talk too fast and I can't keep up with myself. Hopefully they implement the 15% boost and then increase the minimum. So let's just do some real quick mental math. What would that be? That'd be about 30. So that'd be about $220 would be the new minimum. Don't count me on that number. I mean, don't quote me on that. I just did some really rough mental math right there. But if they did that new boost and brought everybody up, increased the minimum and then added, brought everybody up by that, I think the new minimum would be like $220 if they implemented that new emergency boost again. So again, don't quote me on that. I'm just really roughly throwing that out there, but that's pretty cool. Anyway, let's move on. $400 million for WIC, women, infant, children. So that's nice to see, $400 million there, which is pretty good to see. And then let's talk about these stimulus checks. So I'm going to talk about how this package includes these stimulus checks, and then I'll talk about how this differs from other proposals that we've had on the table, and how this one is actually not quite as good of an offer as we have previously seen. So in this package, as we see it, it is a second round of $1,200 stimulus checks for adults, and then any dependents would be an additional $500 for dependents of any age, including adult dependents, students, all those people that were missed out last time that were dependents, they're included this time at a rate of $500. But here's what we're not seeing in this proposal that we saw in the Problem Solvers Caucus proposal just a couple weeks ago. Here's a couple things. We do not see retroactive pay for adult dependents. It's not in there. We're not seeing it here in this proposal. So no retroactive pay for adult dependents. Also, we only see one stimulus check. There's just one stimulus check here in this proposal. As we saw in the Problem Solvers Caucus proposal a couple weeks ago, there were actually two stimulus checks. There was one now, and then there was another one to be deployed in March, provided things were not going very well. If things were not going very well, there was going to be an automatic third stimulus check to be deployed in March of 2021. It's not here. So it looks like we get one stimulus check at a rate of $1,200 plus $500 for dependents, with unfortunately no retroactive pay. As we look back at the original HEROES Act that was proposed back in May, remember back to that one, $1,200 stimulus checks for everybody. Adults, dependents, everybody got $1,200 in. Well, that's what was proposed anyway. So this one, I would say, we're getting a second stimulus check, but it's not as good as other proposals we've had on the table regarding stimulus. So, of course, I can go through this and I can break it down in future videos even further than this. Like I can go into more detail about the additional provisions, talking about evictions and the rental assistance for low income. I can break it down in the SNAP, stuff like that. But I just wanted to break this down because I think this is a lot better. I mean, this is good. It's honestly, I feel like the Problem Solvers Caucus a couple weeks ago was a much better proposal, but this is still good enough. I mean, it's, you know what, at this point, something is better than nothing. They need to do something. I mean, all of us can agree on that. Something is better than nothing at this point. So yeah, I guess I'm a little bit disappointed that retroactive pay for adult dependents isn't in here, because I thought, all of you were missed out on the first one. I mean, I feel like that was really unfair. Oh, before I forget, let me throw this out there too. This is really good. actually, I can't believe I forgot this. In this proposal, TIN, T-I-N, tax identification number people. So if you don't have a social security number, if you just have a TIN, you would be included on this one. It's right here in the proposal, so that's good too. Also, child support people. Listen up, this is for you. I can't believe I forgot this. I have it here on my notes, but I just missed it. Here's what it is. Child support, you're included this time. That's huge. I mean, I should make a dedicated video to just that, talking about TIN and child support people. If you lost, I shouldn't say lost, if you did not get your stimulus check last time on the first round of stimulus checks because it was garnished to back child support, guess what? It's not going to happen this time. You're going to get it. That's what it says. That's what this proposal says. Child support people, if you have back child support, you should get it this time. So as we know, that was a huge deal last time. So many people did not get their stimulus checks because it was garnished for back child support. However, this time you could be getting it. So good stuff. Yeah, a lot of I guess those are a couple of really good things in this package, in this proposal, that we didn't see in the other one. So that would be nice. I'll continue watching this. As we know, I think this is going to be proposed to the negotiators that represent the Republican Party, being Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin as well as Mark Meadows. And then they may even run it by Trump. So I think these guys should be getting this package. As soon as they do and they give it approval, they're going to send it off for some voting. So it's going to be a very busy week. It's definitely a critical week as well. So I'll keep you posted. Thank you so much for watching. I have your back, and I'll catch you.